Could smart contracts revolutionize smart money forever? Moderated by James Bowater, Crypto AM. With Eric Wall, Arcane Assets. And Luis Carbajo, Vottun.
Hey everyone, are you just about surviving? It's all quite late now. Thank you very much for having us. The title of the talk's a little interesting, and I think that what we're going to do is introduce ourselves first. So, Eric, let's go with you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Wall. I work for a Scandinavian hedge fund called Arcane Assets. So we invest in a number of different cryptocurrency assets. We have an office in Stockholm. Pleasure to be here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luis Carbajo. Our company, Botun, provides different blockchain solutions to mainly corporates in Spain and in USA. And basically, we are also in the crypto business because we are testing right now a B2B payment solution with the Central Bank of Spain to allow multinational companies to use crypto instead of the banking system.
Excellent, thank you. Obviously, I do Crypto AM, founder and editor of that. So we don't need to focus on me. So smart contracts, revolutionizing smart money. It's a bit of a confusing title, I think. But I think one of the things that's actually been quite astonishing is during the pandemic is the transformation and the advent of DeFi and the throwaway from cash, everything like that. So what we're now looking at is what's going on now. So what do you think, Eric, about the direction of travel?
Well, like you highlighted, so the coronavirus pandemic has really been an accelerator for the entire cryptocurrency industry. And so one of the obvious data points for that is obviously the price of Bitcoin going up. But along with that also came an acceleration of DeFi. So in the end of 2019, DeFi was just a buzzword. But by the summer of 2020, shortly after the pandemic had become taken hold of the entire world, then all of a sudden you had people from all over the world participating in the decentralized finance economy. And we've seen an explosion, an absolute explosion of applications in decentralized exchanges, lending markets, NFTs, financial derivatives, margin trading that has been exploding. And that trend, which many anticipated would drop off as soon as the flight restrictions would come down, has not picked down pace at all. It's continuing, it's ongoing, and we're just seeing the beginning of a very large trend that, in my opinion, is going to revolutionize the entire financial sector.
Well, I think that the pandemic has obviously accelerated a lot of things, right? One of them, I think, that people have more time to learn what's going on in different industries, and one of them has been the crypto. They have also a lot of time to play, and playing, they identify things like NFT games, and thanks to that also they get interested in DeFi and other protocols. So absolutely, I think that accelerates the growth of the industry. We are getting more attention from the media, that is good. We are getting more attention from the regulators, that is good. So I think that we are just accelerating drastically thanks to the pandemic. So it has been a good thing in that case for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of stumbling on the title of this talk, as I said at the beginning, because what is smart money? What is smart money? I mean, everyone's used to pounds, dollars, euros, yuans, whatever. Cash is no longer king because it's toxic, literally. That's the infusion in the mind here. You've got now people who never knew what a QR code was for, using them every day of their bloody lives. there's been a seismic shift of conditioning of people. And that's why I wanted to lead with the pandemic, because actually it has created an accelerant. And now we're looking at the metaverse, where we've said blockchain is at 10x, but actually metaverse seems to be 25x. I mean, it's the speed of transition is so fast, that none of us really can keep up, I don't think. So smart contracts, revolutionize smart money. I don't even know what smart money is right now.
Well, you could perhaps argue that hard money is an asset class. Smart money is the money that invests in hard money.
Okay, so now we can get into the world of DeFi and arbitrage of interest rates and clever things like that. I mean, is that something that you feel is a good progression? Is that smart money?
Well, once again, I think that smart money is what everybody is experiencing now, in the sense of, you just said, that the cash is not the king anymore, and people get used to use digital money, and part of this digital money, when they learn about digital money, they start getting interested in other kind of money that exists out there and has value, like Bitcoin, like other currencies. So smart money is just smart because it's run through a smart contract, etc. But I think that is everything that is behind that term. What is important is that people realize that there is a way in the digital world to use money in different ways and earn money in different ways, and not just always tied to the banking system or to the traditional financial system.
I mean, I'm slightly biased because obviously I'm involved with a number of interesting projects that occupy the space with sort of longevity, and so I'm taking my newspaper hat off and just focusing on those things for a minute. But smart money, digital money, all of this sort of stuff relies, doesn't it, on the ability to connect. So while mobile we're doing connect the unconnected, half the world has no access to the internet. So it doesn't matter how many handsets you have. If you have to travel 10 kilometers to go and download something or get bandwidth to do something, you can't certainly pay with it at the time. You need access. So again, cash still has its absolute place. But again, I'm struggling with smart money. I always struggling with smart money. To my mind, Chris Cleverly, who's here and was doing his announcement about what he's doing in Nigeria, there is a use case. There's an introduction of wallets to a situation, where rural Africa can benefit directly because there is the infrastructure there. Again, I keep going back. What the fuck is smart money? I just don't get it.
Well, smart money can mean, I think, three things. So the first one is an investor profile. The kind of money that gets in before the dumb money, basically. That's smart money. Another type of smart money can be, well, like I said, hard money.
I understand smart money from an investment perspective.
And another category, I suppose, would be, so Bitcoin, for instance, what characteristics does Bitcoin have that distinguishes it from fiat money beyond just being hard? Well, for example, in Bitcoin, if I wanted to take all my money from one country to another, I can do it with Bitcoin just by memorizing 12 words, and I can walk across any border. So if I'm a Venezuelan citizen and the government imposes a highly inflationary currency upon me, it's very hard to transport the amount of wealth that you have acquired to another country and exchange it for something else. But with Bitcoin, you can just memorize 12 words, you can walk across any border in the world, and there's no central bank that can inflate the value that you have. That's smart money. But you can also say that the smart contract platforms that we have today, the types of applications that you can build. For instance, you can have, let's say you have a mountain of wealth, and you want to make sure that this mountain of wealth gets distributed according to your will. And you can embed the rules of your will in a smart contract language. So you can say, for instance, you can put a restriction that says, for example, only 2% of my wealth shall get allocated to my children after I die. And you can have a smart contract that imposes those rules upon upon the money that you have left after you die. That's not possible to do in the existing system. You can use lawyers to try to reach that goal, but you cannot know for sure what's going to happen to the legal system after you die. But a smart contract language can enforce those rules into the future with much more certainty than laws can.
Well, there's a huge caveat to that, isn't there?
Sure.
Who's programming the smart contract?
Well, I
Who's
think
auditing the smart contract? And even the brightest minds, and by the way, there is a huge shortage of those bright minds, when they get it wrong, it's catastrophic, you know?
it's absolutely catastrophic when you get it wrong. I think for the reason when I said that when we are getting more attention also from regulators, it's good on the sense that to some extent, regular users need to be protected for this kind of practice in which if you create a smart contract that sucks, it can be hacked, can be catastrophic for the users. And from that point of view, I think the audit and have more regulations is absolutely necessary, especially for the protocols that are...
Is that somebody leaving in their Lambo? I'm sorry. The irony of it. We've only got 3 minutes left, and obviously it's the end of the day. Does anyone have an opinion in the audience that they'd like to share or would like to ask my esteemed panel? I'm looking out there. If not, that's no problem by me, by the way. But if anyone does have a question, there's a good opportunity to ask or make a statement. Nope. Okay. So in terms of closing, smart contracts, revolutionizing smart money.
Yeah, well, I think you touched on one interesting point, which was the metaverse and NFTs. One thing that has really been occupying my mind recently is that the types of tokens that we see today, I think we've only scratched the surface with NFTs. You see people buying pictures of monkeys, and they're paying millions of dollars for that. But is that really the end goal of NFTs, and what NFTs are going to be capable of? I think the true potential of NFTs is going to be is the ability to create the link between the creator and the fan. So it doesn't have to be that you sell necessarily a picture or something. It can be that you sell something of more tangible value. So something, for example, you could sell the right to call someone for 30 minutes each week. That ability, that's called a credit for time. And by the way, it's not a security. That doesn't fall under securities law. So anyone can do this. They can tokenize their time. They can sell that time. And the person that buys that token doesn't necessarily need to be a person that actually wants to use the 30 minutes each week.
Well, I think actually you also touched on a really important thing that we haven't even gone anywhere near, which is, again, also accelerated by the pandemic and people being stuck at home, but play to earn, learn to earn, build to earn, all of those elements. I mean, that is a genuine revolution, I think, you know, in terms of direction of travel.
It could be. At the end of the day, as Eric was saying, right, and we can see it with NFTs and the smart contracts that are ruling those NFTs, for example, as much important as the fund that is buying the token is also how the creator is guaranteeing the royalties that they get thanks to the smart contract. So from that point of view, everything that is built with smart contracts, it has the possibility to change the way that the money or the wealth or the value is exchanged between the parties. And I think that is the part of where we are tying a smart contract with the smart money, what is really meaningful.
Cool. Well, I think we've exhausted the subject for now, given the time that we've got. So I'd like to thank you both very much for giving your time and being so patient. I know the guys have been handling difficult technical issues, so thank you also for all of your patience. And thank you, team, for being so supportive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.